What's up, everybody? We're back, Juice Boys.
What up?
Doing what we do, drinking juice like Jack LaLanne over here.
fucking
Good stuff.
What are you drinking?
We are going to Oltrepo Pavese today. A very kind of like underappreciated. I mean, like for the wine nerds, it's appreciated, but I feel like in restaurants and like overall wine scene for regular consumers, it doesn't get a lot of love. It is in Lombardy.
There's a Pavese Rosso, no?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But they are known for Pinot Nero when it comes to their reds,
Okay.
which will be fun because I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Italian Pinot Nero. Like,
Same.
some are really good, some are not. I prefer like Trentino Alto Adige,
Yeah,
Pinot
for sure.
Noir. So it'll be cool to try something from here. Apparently, it's bonkers good. So see what happens. So we've got.
I'm a northern white fan though. Like I'm a Kerner guy.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
With a third gal.
Yeah.
Like that shit's
That's
delicious.
crack.
Delicious.
I love that stuff.
Hell yeah.
So it'll be fun to compare, and obviously their Pinot Grigios up there are good too. So it'll be fun to have this Pinot Grigio and then compare it to what we typically find in the ones that we know we prefer. And then we got a Chardonnay out there for all you Chard fans. So we got three wines from the same family, and I'm excited to try. How's your day going, Chef?
It's good. It's good. We had a nice little photo shoot earlier at Bastone and making some pasta. So, any day I get to make pasta, it's a good day.
Did you get to eat any?
No. We're not. We're gonna stay away from pasta for a little bit. Gotta get into soup fitting season for the wedding.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But
swimsuit season's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming. I gotta get. Like, was it lights out? Was it thighs out? Sun's out, thighs out.
No. Sun's out, guns out.
Oh yeah. Isn't there a thighs one?
Thick thighs save lives.
That too. There you go. That's good enough.
I actually found today that I have a hole in the thighs of both legs
What does that mean?
of my jeans.
Oh, nice. That's good.
I've rubbed them enough
That's
to
good.
where the hole has created.
Jesus
So
Christ.
that's what happens when you got thick thighs.
I love that.
Yeah. So
I
now I
love
gotta
that.
go to Old Navy buy some new jeans. Luckily, they're on 50% off at Old Navy this week.
I love Old
So
Navy, huh?
I know Old Navy's clutch, man. Old Navy, Gap. Used to hate them as a kid because it was like lame if you wore it, but now as an adult, I love that place.
So what are we doing first?
Cool. Pinot Grigio. Definitely going Pinot Grigio first. So this episode is brought to you by the Cordero family and Atlanta Beverage, our boy Richard Vargas. He'll be on the podcast on the 10th. Well, not the release date, but the day we record will be the 10th. So Richard will be coming in with a vineyard owner from Chianti, and we're gonna have Richard on and do a podcast episode as well with him.
How do you feel about Pinot Grigio? Be honest.
I think it's came a long way.
Yeah.
And I think when you drink real good, ripe Pinot Grigio, not just a quick $7.99 bottle off the shelf of a grocery store, I think it's actually pretty freaking good.
Best Pinot Grigio I've had in my life. Well, other than that, skin contact one you got on the Sicilian one is Yearman.
That sounds familiar. I don't know.
It's pricey. It's like I think at the restaurants would be like over $100 per bottle.
Oh wow. It
But
better
it's
be good.
it's fucking delicious. They do a really nice job.
Yeah, Pinot Grigio's. I mean, it's Pinot Grigio, right? Like everyone knows Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, the three wines that moms with too many kids, put ice in and call it watered down so they can justify their drinking habits.
Yeah.
But I think Pinot Grigio's came a very long way. I mean, at least from my educational level, like. I'm sure Pinot Grigio was always good. You just had to. I mean, back when I was just growing up, it was probably just harder to find, right?
Yeah.
So I think now, though, from a standpoint of what we can get our hands on, I think it's getting very long way and for the better.
And you gotta remember, Pinot Grigio was that grape that was quick seller, super cheap.
Yep.
And it was bastardized, right? I mean, it was all about the marketing dollars. So like, let's talk like Santa Margarita. Those things like those. It was fucking water.
Box wines.
It was water in a bottle.
Box, whatever.
And then a shit ton of marketing dollars. It's like fucking everything. Like McDonald's is McDonald's because of the branding, not because of the way the fucking food tastes.
Exactly.
But I'm pumped to try this because the nose on this is pretty.
It's got a good nose. It's got this kind of nuttiness too,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Super citrusy.
I don't really think I've gotten a nuttiness off Pinot Grigio like this before, but it's like very, very faint, which is nice. So one thing I want to do with this episode to introduce you guys to, for those of you who want to get into wine more or just kind of want to take your wine appreciation to just a smidge above in the next level. Tech sheets, an industry secret, okay, and industry standard as well. So basically, a tech sheet is something that has technical data, tech sheet, on the wine. So you could go from super crazy levels of nerdiness, or you could just go very easy. They kind of have it all laid out for you. And then if you don't know something and you do want to learn it, at least you can take those words, plug it into Google, find out what it means and what you're reading about. So I'm going to do this for this episode so you guys can see, because Richard had to give me these anyways because he was my rep and I need to know about him for my menus and stuff like that. So basically the tech sheet will have a breakdown of the region, the variety, the area of that region that it's produced in, and then harvest time. And then after that, they'll have the winemaking practices, the aging, and then taste characteristics, which we call organoleptic characteristics. Wow, say that 3 times fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then food pairings, potentially. Not everyone puts food pairings, but most of the time they do. And the easiest way to get them is you just type in the wine you're drinking. Not all of them have them, but about 95% of the wines have them. So most likely, you can just plug it in on Google, and then the name of the wine, and then after that put tech sheet right after it, and you'll go right to the winery or the importer's website, and you'll most likely find a tech sheet. And then you can just kind of have fun and nerd out while drinking your wine.
Nice.
So that's what we're gonna do here.
What are you getting on the nose?
On the nose. Oh, it's opened up. It's not as nutty anymore. Nowhere near.
I mean,
White flowers.
Yeah, I get apple. I get apple on every Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, orchard, like pear, apple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the jasmine, and then what's the other white flower? Ylang ylang.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's in one of the essential oils.
Yeah.
A lot of really white. I mean,
Okay.
it smells like it's not going to be acidic, but I feel like it's a cold climate Pinot Grigio. It's got to be pretty acidic, right?
Yeah, I feel like it may be acidic. Jump on that, perfect.
Dude,
It's got acid.
it's there.
Yeah.
I burned my mouth eating pizza last night, and the acid's reminding me that it's there when it touches the burns. It's pretty full.
It's like crisp though at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's got the acid, and it's like, in my opinion, a very well balanced wine, like across the board. Like acidity, light mouthfeel is like a touch buttery, but it is definitely full on the fuller side for sure.
Yeah, and honestly,
You really get the apple though
I
on the
think I
mouthfeel.
really like a Pinot Grigio like this. I don't
Yeah.
really know, like, I've had a lot of Pinot Grigios obviously, but you only typically get this type of palate on a Pinot Grigio when it's got skin contact. But for one to have no skin contact, and only aged stainless, there's no concrete, there's no wood, none of that, and it's only aged for 6 months. But you know what it does have? I just realized, lees.
Yeah.
Lees contact, which makes total sense. So for those of you who don't know, very prominent with Chardonnay production, but lees are basically when yeast is done eating up sugars and making itself fuel for fermentation. When they die out because there's no more sugar left in the juice for them to eat up, they basically just fall to the bottom of the fermentation tank, and then they will basically contribute to more rounder flavors, textural changes to the wine. And it's a practice called sur-lie in French, but or you can just say we left it on the lees, either way. But that tends to be very popular for your Chardonnays and your fuller bodied whites. But then I realized again, that's kind of what made this Pinot Grigio full. And it's not a common practice for Pinot Grigios, but they nailed it. I think it's a really good Pinot Grigio for them to do that too.
I want a plate of speck and some really hard, like almost funky cheese to go with this. I'm a wine, meat, and cheese guy, so
Yeah.
that's why I always want that. But speck because I want the smoke because that acid will cut through it all. And then I want like a real nutty, like fucking with a little bit of funk cheese to go in the end.
I want,
Like a pecorino would be nice.
Yes.
I want pecorino.
but I want just a soft, like a pan-seared piece of fish over like a parsnip puree, and then maybe a sauteed mushroom
Yeah,
type of sauce doused over the top for that little earthy nuttiness. That well, probably because I'm hungry. I mean,
Yeah,
cheese
I'm
right
hungry
now
too.
is a tease to me. I just need a full plate right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very food friendly wine, and it's a porch pounder too if you need it to be.
Without a doubt.
So I dig that a lot. I A lot. Thank
Alright.
you, Richard, for that one.
What's next?
Chardonnay. Really cool Chardonnay. So, this one is aged in French oak and concrete. They take them, and it's whole cluster too.
Nice.
So they're taking, they're not plucking, they're not destemming the grapes. They're putting it all in there, and then they give it a soft press, not a hard press, because when you do have the branches still intact, you don't want to release all the tannins out of the branch. And then they basically are splitting it after it's done fermenting, and then they split it into concrete and steel. Amphora, not concrete. So think clay pots. So amphora and steel, amphora and French oak, and then after that, put it back together.
Nice.
So I'm really excited to see that. It's
So
not a common practice.
It's funny because my right off the rip on the nose, and it's funny. All I got was vanilla, and then it has tasting notes. And the first thing, well, the third thing says is vanilla.
Vanilla,
I'm like,
yeah.
But it's funny because I get the peach second. I get vanilla first. It's also probably because
it's the other way around.
I also really want a fucking New York style cheesecake right now. Don't tell anybody I said that.
It's on record.
Yeah.
Dude, this nose is
Yeah,
fantastic.
it is. And you said it, so it's 100%. It's 100% Chardonnay, but why is it DOC?
For Oltrepo Pavese,
Mhm.
it's very, very common up there. Oh, you mean like instead of the OCG?
No, but why is it DOC for Chardonnay?
Because the Italian government has kind of like lifted
Is that
up.
okay?
Yeah, because when it comes from Oltrepo Pavese, it's the same thing like with Super Tuscans, they
Yeah.
get bumped up, you know. So eventually over time when DOCG really has to be the indigenous ones. DOC can be kind of a non-indigenous grape.
Yeah.
So back in the day it was different, now it's different, now it's, you know, foreign grapes can do that, but I think it's more so of them trying to leave up, or to leave, to kind of like lift up some shit so they can kind of get things moving throughout Italy, but then also like they realize, wow, we actually make pretty good Chardonnay, we make good Merlot, blah blah blah. So I think they were just like, fuck it, we can put the DOC on it. Plus they make money off
Damn, I
the
keep
DOC.
getting a lot more vanilla.
I'm getting what's this weird herbal nose. Wait, let me get the vanilla. There it is.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Really, really good. On the
Wow.
mouth, I
Round,
got,
huh?
yeah, but I get a lot of citrus in the mouth though.
Yeah. And I like the
I feel like the vanilla is what's making it kind of buttery though.
yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
round feeling and taste. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, the vanilla is coming through heavy now that it's sitting on and you're breathing a little bit. Because I get it a little bit on the nose, not as much as you're getting it, but then on the palate, I am for sure getting it. On the nose is more herbal to me. Oh man,
That's
that
delicious.
is great though, man.
That's really good because I'm not a huge fan of Chardonnay to just begin with, but that's absolutely delicious. And I want it's weird because I normally won't go this route, but I want a braised lamb that has anchovies in it with that, lots of onions,
Yeah.
lots of onions. That's what I want. Either over polenta or find a way to fucking shred that shit and put it in pasta.
Definitely polenta. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Lombardy, right?
Yeah.
You gotta go polenta. That's all
Yeah.
they eat. They're like the Nebraska of Italy.
Yeah.
It's corn country over there.
Not to go back, but Pinot Grigio, that was an 8-1 for me. This Chardonnay is like an 8-4 for me. I like that Pinot Grigio for poundability, but I really enjoy this with I think I could have some fun with that.
I think this is a better wine,
Mhm.
but I think that was a better surprise.
Yeah.
Like I think that shocked me a
Yeah.
little more. So I'm gonna actually tie them
Oh wow,
because of the shock factor. I'm gonna let that go into place. I'm gonna go 8-3 for both of them.
nice.
They're really fucking good wines. I'm excited for the Nero. I
Me
have
too.
really high hopes because even Richard was like, I know you don't like Nero, but this one's different, and I was like, all right, we'll see.
A little palate cleanse real quick.
Oh man,
All right.
man, these are good. These are really good.
Hit me, I'm pumped. Do you know what it is around the label?
Sorry, yes, I saw you look at it. So, St. Giorgio, St. George,
Mhm.
okay? St. George was, so the folklore goes that in this castle that that's on the property, on the vineyard. There was a daughter, or excuse me, princess, and basically the dragon ran the castle, and anything they wanted, they had to get permission from the dragon first, and then give the dragon something in return, right? So one day, finally, the dragon goes, "I want the princess," and then that's when they were like, "All right, you crossed the line. That's it." And St. George was like, "Not having it, homie." So he basically went in there and slayed the dragon.
Oh, nice.
And
That's on the
then
cover.
freed up the castle, and they were able to continue on with their winemaking and everything else that they were doing in that castle.
I like that.
So yeah, it's a really cool little story.
That's good.
So yeah, the property was actually purchased by three brothers back in the day. They've been all throughout France, the U.S., Australia to learn winemaking.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up around winemakers and stuff like that and farms, but they kind of wanted to take it to the next level. So they all set out and studied and learned about enology and things like that, and then they all came back and found this property. They were originally from Piedmont, the family.
Oh, nice.
But they settled on Lombardy, which is really cool.
This nose.
This looks dark for a
yeah,
Pinot Noir.
yeah. You know what's funny is right off the nose, this screams northern Italian red. It screams Lagrange. It screams.
Lagrange, I'm getting
it
a
screams
lot.
Pinot Noir, Pinot Noir.
You like Lagrange?
I do, I like
right?
Lagrange, yeah.
It's kind of like, but I've only had a couple too,
Yeah.
which is in my defense.
It's jammier than I thought it was gonna be.
So these are 30-year-old vines.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Another
age.
DFC.
Yeah. Harvested and placed in boxes exclusively by manual selection. And then there's 20 hectares of this, so double that basically in acreage. And then they're subdivided into small plots, which is really cool. That's kind of a common practice, but not like super common. And then they're destemmed and then kept intact. As far as 10% of the mass goes, though, is whole cluster.
Well,
So if you like Oregon Pinots,
why am I getting jamminess from this though?
I don't know, it's very fruit forward, huh?
It is very,
Like,
very fruit forward.
I was like, I would really hope for more.
You blind tasted me on this. I'm thinking this is from Veneto, and it's like a Corvina Rondinella Molinara. It's like a fucking Ripasso or
Did
something.
you taste it yet?
No, not there.
Yeah.
But that's what I get on the nose.
Yeah, I can see that. And then, what's the alcohol?
Like a Valpolicella is what I'm getting on this.
See, for me, it's very weird because it's opening up pretty well,
Mhm.
but
And it's cold.
I'm getting and it doesn't see any wood, but I'm getting this kind of deep spice, which you only would get from Pinot typically if it's grown like in its natural state, so either Burgundy or if it comes from an Oregon Pinot.
Yeah.
But even then, it's the wood that does that. And this one doesn't see any wood.
No oak at all.
No wood.
What is
6
it,
months in stainless.
That's it?
6 months in stainless, and then rest for 2 months in the bottle before the release.
I'll pumped to try this out.
It's starting to remind me of an Oregon Pinot in a weird way. Nowhere near as musty or forest floor like mushroomy, but the type of fruit that you're getting off of it.
Wow, it's more tannic than I thought it was gonna be.
It's drying out my mouth. A lot more tannic than I thought it was gonna be. So that changes the game on that. I'm
What
going-
a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, very. I'm actually. I would drink this. I would drink the fuck out
I
of
mean,
this.
I
I'm gonna
think
be honest. It's
it
cold.
does need it does need to
Needs to
warm
warm
up
up
a
for
touch.
sure. It's got enough acidity to put up with fatty game meats. Damn. So you know what? I want like.
You want that meal that you said about the show?
Yeah,
With
no,
it?
but not just that, but like I mean, I think that there's a lot you can do with this wine. That's why I appreciate it.
I think this would be good with like rabbit and olives.
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
deal, like
yeah.
a good old conillo.
Yeah.
Cooked down in some tomatoes and then add that over the
Yeah,
polenta.
that'd be
That
good.
would be really good with this.
Wow, that's good. That's
Dude,
really good.
my gums are still, or
Yeah.
my lips are still stuck to my
Yeah.
my teeth. That's crazy.
I didn't realize there was gonna be that much. there was
How the
gonna be that
hell
tannin.
does?
I know.
Okay, so you know what's funny is last night we were having a discussion. Josh and I, my friend, he opened a 10-year-old bottle of Polenta Pinot for me. So I was like, cool, thank you. And we got on the subject of how apparently a lot of people he talked to, and I don't know if these are like very well-known wine people or not, but a lot of people he talks to, for some reason they always look at him and go, if you like Nebbiolo or Pinot, sorry, if you like Nebbiolo, you must like Pinot. And I'm like,
Really?
I'm like, why? Because the body, they're both like
Yeah.
medium. But I was like, yeah, good Pinot is like high acid,
Yeah.
but the tannin is nowhere near as existent
Really? See, I don't know if I would do that.
No, never. And that's when he was like, I don't know what they mean by that, but people always tell me that. And I'm like, I think they're thinking of color and body because Nebbiolo looks light. It is light. A lot of people mistake the high acid, high tannin to make it a full-bodied wine, but it's really not. So I think that's what he was talking about. Like people confuse the two.
Yeah.
But then I try this and I'm like, dude, this is tannic.
Yeah.
This is really tannic. So I'm
That's
wondering.
delicious. That was a big surprise for me. I'm gonna put that at about an 8.
Red wine's gonna take the cake over the
Yeah,
white.
I'll put that at an 8.6.
8.6?
Well, I think again it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
that, and that's a very good, well-made Pinot Noir.
Dude, all the wines are very well made. That's yeah, I'm at 8.5.
Yeah,
I'm at
delicious.
8.5, so I agree. I'm very close. I agree. That
So
is.
these are the three we
I kinda wanna let
tasted
it warm up.
right here. So we're going this way to that way. So we got Pinot Grigio.
No, Pinot Grigio. Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This way to that way. Pinot Grigio. Right here, Chardonnay, and a Pinot Nero.
I mean, these are what? I mean, what are these going to be in a store? Probably somewhere from like
Um,
20 to 50 bucks.
Yeah, so the Chardonnay is obviously the more expensive one.
Yeah.
The Chardonnay is going to be around the $55 range. And then your Pinot Nero is going to be right at about just under 30.
Okay.
If not right there at 30. And then same with Pinot Grigio is going
That's
to be at about 27.
I think those are.
I think those are very well priced.
amazingly priced wines for what you get. Again,
If you were to get that Chardonnay from anywhere else,
Yeah.
it'd be a $70,
Yeah,
$60,
yeah,
$70
100%.
bottle without a doubt.
100%.
And the fact that I mean, I'm spoiled,
Yeah, of
obviously, so
course.
I don't go buy wine in a store, but if I saw that wine and it was in the range that it should be, like 50, 55 bucks, and I knew I was going to someone's house who would enjoy it, I'd probably pull
have
the
no
trigger on
problem. I
it.
have no problem eating
Yeah,
it.
and I'd be the hero because how many people have had Chardonnay from October Pavese, especially Chardonnay like
Yeah.
that, you know? And then the Pinot would be, a true Pinot drinker may not like it.
Yeah.
The tannin might be a little too much, but for somebody who likes Pinot or who is adventurous and wants to try different types of Pinot, definitely seek that one out. I don't know where they're selling this. I should have asked Richard prior. And when we do the episode,
Nowhere. You can only buy it at our restaurant.
Yeah, how's that?
How about that?
in our-
It's even better.
in our one-day wine club.
Yeah, right.
So
I love that.
the label's
good.
cool. The wines are great.
Yeah.
I love the importer. Banville, they bring in a lot of good wines too. We use a good bit of their wines. They're good people. Never have stock issues, which is nice.
Nice.
But yeah, I think these are all a home run.
That's
like
awesome.
a solid 3 lineup.
Very, very cool.
Nice.
What else you want to chat about before we go off?
Today is a very interesting day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What?
I feel like it's been very productive.
Nice. Good.
You know? Like
That was my day yesterday.
That was your day yesterday?
Productive as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, actually yesterday was a productive week.
Yeah.
In a way. I know you feel that way because you finally were able to be in the office making all your videos, stuff like that. I finally had my green coffee beans come in, thank God, after they lost my package the first time. So those came in, I roasted some off this morning.
Nice.
That was nice. I'm working on my espresso blend for you, cuz. Yeah, he's excited for it.
Of course he
So,
does.
I sold my old coffee grinder. I'm getting a new one.
Did you?
So I can really dial in the espresso at the house.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. It's good stuff. Good productive day.
Love that. Love productive days, dude. Love productive weeks. man.
Honestly, like,
Fuck.
there's something about, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm just getting older, but productivity's nice.
Right?
I can't stand I can't stand just sitting on the couch
No, I
watching
agree.
TV,
Get shit
eating
done.
snacks all day.
Get shit done.
Maybe once in a blue, like,
Yeah.
but I'd literally
One
have to knock
Sunday
everything
a
out.
quarter.
Yeah, I'd have to knock everything out in order to do that.
I agree.
So now I want to go home and grill. I
There
think
you
if the
go.
weather stays like this,
Drink
and it
this.
doesn't. Yeah, I think if the weather stays like this and it doesn't get too cold, I'm sure tonight's probably gonna drop to
Yeah,
30s.
it's supposed to be like
But
30.
right now, this is good grilling weather.
Yeah.
Like
It's
with either a
55,
glass of
58.
wine, a piccola, or a
Ooh.
fucking vermouth and soda in my
Nice
hand.
cigar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm down for that.
cigar
I'm
would
down
be
for that.
great. Nice Connecticut too, light, crisp,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
the air right
I
now.
like that with my coffee in the morning. Nice Connecticut.
Oh god, Connecticut's and coffee,
Yeah.
so fantastic. We gotta do
I think there's another podcast.
a spoof,
Connecticut's and coffee.
a spoof podcast episode with cigars and coffee, and then we also need to do a vermouth episode.
We
Really fucking wake up the world because I'm still waiting and I'm getting very
underappreciated.
annoyed. And I think that's the episode that we really put like some hardcore editing on YouTube and let that shit pop off.
Nice.
And be like, these crazy fucks are drinking vermouth. Who are they? Oh, they have other episodes.
Oh, check it
And
out.
that's it.
I love it.
Juice Boys.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, like always, and we'll hit you guys up next week.
See ya.
Later.
That was good. Quick, swift one.
So, let me know when you're on. So that's how I think it should be.
Yeah.
Faster.